Hello everyone, you're welcome to another edition of Iron Port, the program designed to bring Ghana's ports and maritime industry closer to you. It is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Revenue Authority, GOIL, PLC Serene Insurance, Ghana Link, Meridian Port Services and Phoenix Insurance. It is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Viewers, more good news so far as the transshipment ambitions for the port of Tema are concerned. Last week, the second vessel designated for the CMA-CGM Maersk Far East to West Africa direct service called the Port of Tema before visiting other ports in the sub-region. This is also the first LNG-powered vessel to call the port. More details up next. Only a week after the 366-meter-long, 13,676 TEU Maersk Edena left the port of Tema, a similar-sized container ship has called the port. The CMA-CGM Scandola Valletta is the second of 13 vessels of the same class designated for the newly introduced West Africa Express service, where Tema is the first port of call. The 366-meter-long, 15,128 TEU vessel sailing under the flag of Malta is also the first LNG-powered vessel to call the Port of Tema, showcasing the commitment of the shipping industry towards a more sustainable future. The Lady CMA-CGM Scandola berthed at the port, carrying 9,161 TEUs bound for West Africa, with 4,939 TEUs destined for discharge in Tema. Among these, 1,938 TEUs of transshipment boxes have been reloaded into feeder vessels for their final destination in other ports in the region. A delegation consisting of the Minister for Transport, Kweku Foriesiama, the Director of Port Tema, Sandro Opoku, management of MPS, a team from CMA-CGM, and some key customers of the shipping line visited the berthing site to witness this historic event.
The first port to be called in West Africa is Tema, and it's not a coincidence.
So that's good.
I mean, it's just the fruit of a long-term vision that Ghana made several years ago, and today it's only the fruit of that vision.
Indeed, Tema is gradually living up to its hub port ambition, and the CEO of MPS, Mohammed Samara, expressed optimism that this will give a shot in the arm to Ghana's goal of becoming an ideal destination for investments.
The West Africa market is a huge market. You know, we have about 300 to 400 million people. Nigeria alone 220. You know, consumers and producers at the same time. You know, so if we are able to tap into this kind of global economy, you know, through Ghana becoming a hub not only for trade but also for industry. This is something really interesting that we should actually encourage and pursue. And this is the dream for Ghana is to create interconnectivity within the region and the wider continent, of course, in the long run.
The Director of Port Tema, Sandro Opoku, said the Port Authority recognizes the efforts shipping lines are making to augment the maritime trade in the region, and her outfit will do its best to complement such efforts.
Being one of the biggest ships to call at MPS, we at Tema Port, we are excited. And it's good that it came at this time when we also try to augment our tugboats that can bring in these big vessels. And kudos to my marine operations team for making sure that, you know, we bring this vessel to bed safely. And this is our commitment to you and to all the other shipping lines that, yes, we are ready to serve you. We recognize the efforts that you're making, and we also try and augment our productivity.
The Minister for Transport, Kweku Foriesiama, stated that this historic event is one of the indications that Ghana is committed to protecting the environment.
In the next 4 to 8 years, the government has a lot of policies and programs in there in both marine and road transport services, so far as tax exemptions and the way forward to make sure that we veer off or veer towards, not veer off from internal combustion engine towards electric vehicle policy.
Away from that, viewers, this week we explored the use of fibre glass for the construction of canoes and boats in Ghana's maritime industry. Our guests for the day made a good case for why we should opt for those instead of the traditional wooden ones that we are familiar with. Take a listen.
Begin by telling us the advantages of using fiberglass in the construction of boats and canoes. in the maritime context of things here in our country? Yeah.
So fiberglass is a composite material, and every composite material, one of the desired properties of a composite material is its light weight against its high strength. And as a result of that, if you want to look at that potential in respect of boat operation, then you realize that we will be able to transport a lot of goods more than if we compare to the use of wooden boats. So because of the high strength, yet lightweight, we will be able to carry more. Another benefit that is very important to mention is the low maintenance cost that fiberglass boat presents to our economy. We know that our people do not have that much money, those that use these canoes. And so if we can get them another material that when they use in constructing their boats, it will last longer, and then it will prolong the time it takes for them to do maintenance work, then that is a good one. And fiberglass boats also gives us that avenue to do that as well. Then in terms of the environment, we are all worried about, climate change and all that. We want to preserve our forest. So the cutting down of trees, if we want to prevent or slow it down, then the fiberglass boat is the option that we should be looking into, because the material we are using is coming from glass fiber and then a resin. Right. So then we do less cutting down of trees compared to the cane. So these are the main benefits that I would like to touch on. There are other ones, but I'll limit it to this ones for now.
Yes, I'll still continue with you before I come to and find out from you, what's the main raw material for the manufacture of fiberglass?
So fiberglass itself is coming. The raw material is coming from glass fiber.
Glass fiber.
So as the reinforcement,
yes,
and then the matrix is a resin.
The layman that's outside there and watching us right now, what's glass fiber?
So glass fiber, it's just so it's glass, right? So it's glass that has been produced in the laboratory into matte. Right. So you can easily fold it, you can easily turn it into any shape. Okay. And then the reason is like, I don't know if we know epoxy. Epoxy is a very typical example. So
the one they use for buildings.
Exactly. Okay. So when you lay the mat, then you spread the resin over it, and then you allow it to cure. And when it hardens, then that's it. You have your material in place. Exactly.
Do we have some in the system? Fiberglass boats and canoes in Ghana, do we have some in the system?
For the past 2 years, we have been doing a lot of works using the fiber boats, yes, and then we have built the capacity in this country where we design, we build, and we do everything here. Right. So we've worked with Ghana Navy. We're able to produce a fiber boat. Okay. We've also worked with a Ghana Health Service. Yes. We've also produced a fiber. Yes, a medical. Yes. Okay. Built here, designed here, and everything. And currently, there are a lot of projects also coming up. The work is ongoing. Yes. The only place we have not touched is the canoe. The canoes, changing because the indigenes sometimes changing from one to the other is a problem. So all boils down to funding, where maybe individuals or government agencies or authorities will come and say that, okay, this is what we have seen, and it will help us. Okay, let's go in. Let's do this. Then the initial capital they can come out. We can come out with a lot of designs and then start to build, because we have the capacity here. We can design and build. So in terms of success, we are picking up small. Right. But elsewhere, when you go to Asia and other aspects, now they have stopped most because there are policies. The country also has to come out with the policy that the wood cutting should stop. Yeah. When there is that policy, when you even go to Abidjan now, Ivory Coast and Co., they have policies governing, just going out there, cut wood and come and do your no. So when we have those policies there, then it will minimize the use of wood, and then they can turn to the fiber. But if there's no policies, they will still go on using
sure.
so there have been success stories, and I mean we keep on doing. Yes. So
Okay, so I'm interested in those that you've built, particularly the medical boats.
Yes,
with fiber glass.
Yes.
So what were some of the facilities that you built in it?
All right. So most of the ones that they import, I mean, because they don't know our terrain and all that, sometimes they don't put certain things in them.
Right.
Yeah. But since we know our terrain, sometimes we have put in all the, especially in terms of safety.
Right.
Yes, we were able to put in the searchlight. We put in the echo sounder, GPS just to navigate through, and I mean even VHF.
Right.
Yes, radio to communicate outside when there's a problem.
Okay.
Yes, we even put in radio. I mean seat, bed, I mean toilet, and all those things were in the boat. Yes. So since we know our terrain, we're able to design to suit what the people want. So that's why we are saying that they should just turn back to us.
How expensive is this fiberglass thing? Because I think that's one of the reasons why most people give. They think that the wooden canoes are quite cheaper because it's wood, and it's very easy.
Available.
Exactly, it's readily available. Quite accessible. They can use it, and it's cheaper. How available? How cheap is the fiberglass thing?
So that's the main challenge currently in the country, because fiberglass is not locally manufactured here. We import fiberglass, and then the resin itself. So everything is imported, and as a result, the inflation and other things have. So as for the first time cost, that one is expensive, but we shouldn't dwell much on the first time cost. We can compensate with about 50 years duration before you start doing major, the lifespan, before you start doing major, maintenance work. So as for the cost, it's expensive, but in terms of the durability, whilst the wooden canoes are giving you up to about 10 years, and then even that you have to be doing major maintenance, the fiberglass boats are going to give you 50 years plus. So then it's a good investment, and I think this is where we also have to plead with, funding agencies, government, and other individuals who have funds that they want to invest to come in and support. Yes. So it's expensive, but it's durable, and that will compensate for the initial cost.
Right. Have we done any perhaps estimates or calculations to find out that this is how much a normal fiberglass boat or canoe would cost? And we put some figures, some numbers together.
It's one of the projects we are working on. Currently, we have given that. It's a project we are working on, trying to quantify the. But in terms of cost, it varies, because when the person comes in, you come with a specification. For instance, maybe if you are going to build a boat of maybe 10 meters, 5 meters of a certain depth and breadth, then it means that the cost of it will vary. Yes, so based on the person's, request, yes. But as you said, the initial cost sometimes is a little bit, yes. But when you compare it to the current traditional boat that we have, realized that the fiber boat has more advantage than regardless of the money you invest, because if you are going to get the thing and it will last for that 50 years before a major maintenance will be done, then why don't you go in? Because for the canoes that we have now, within 5 years, even every year you have to do something. Yes, and when you calculate all this, you realize that it's far better going for the fiber. So in terms of cost, we are now working on. In fact, it's a project. Doug and myself, we are supervising, trying to get the exact cost and then do that. So, given the cost out there, it's not all that expensive though, but at least you have a moderate.
You did make mention earlier of the eco-friendly nature of these boats, and they will also give the advantages in terms of deforestation. That yes, we are going to avoid deforestation if we and I know there's a project in which GPHA contracted a particular company to build 20 eco friendly canoes, boats using fiberglass and all that. What's your take on this particular initiative?
Oh, it's a good one, especially if it has to do with our fisher folks. You know, they are very important industry that we need to always try to resource. Our only play will be to try and do everything here. To try so that we can build the local industry, build the capacity that we need. Like George was saying, we started, doing things here. So if they can also identify, the various individuals, bring them together, then gradually we build the technology here, keep everything here. But if they have to just, bring import everything into the country and just give to them, then I think that one is not a good one. Like, for instance, RMU, Regional Maritime University, we've come into partnership with the Lama Marine Company, a Dubai-based company. They are coming to bringing their facilities here. They are going to build, fiber glass boats from scratch.
Right.
And then we will join them, the staff and students.
Right.
Then we would also start running our BSc Naval Architecture program. So through this, we are helping the industry. The industry is also helping us. Gradually, we are building the capacity.
So that was bits on the use of fiberglass for canoes and boats, and we hope our industry is convinced and we'll see more of those in the future. And now let us pick some comments on the subject we have just discussed after we go on break, and then we'll be back with more news. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Kingsley. I am very interested in a career as a naval architect, but I fear I may not be employable after. What can I do to become employable after taking a program at RMU?
The naval architecture is not, the ordinary traditional courses we have around. The traditional courses, everyone is rushing to go and do them. It's a new area we have to explore. And as we said, we already now have a company on campus who is ready to train, and if possible, pick students on internship. And it's not only Ghana here. It cut across. Even if you do not work here, when you travel outside, even across the borders and wherever, you can get jobs.
This is Ben from Tema Newtown. I think governments should enter partnership with private companies to provide these fiberglass boats for semi-industrial fishing companies.
Guys, now I'm tired. I'll go on a date with whoever gets here first.
Princess, really? Okay, I come.
Shut up!
Mame, Boss, fill my tank with Super XP Ron 95.
Fill up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle.
Sorry, Tony got here first, so I'm stepping with him.
Oh, cut him. Hey, go for mommy.
Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Always go for Goyle Super XP Ron 95. Goyle, good energy.
Goyle is good energy. Electricity, pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, streetlights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is, you still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory
and my warehouse. Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Welcome back. It's now time to take a look at other stories from our local port and maritime sector. Customs organizations in the 89 World Customs Organization member countries and their partners who affect world trade management convene each year to celebrate International Customs Day, which is observed on January 26. This year's event, held at the Customs head office in Accra, was themed Customs Engaging Traditional and New Partners with Purpose. The day also was another opportunity for Ghana's customs to reflect on their mission, accomplishments, while strategizing for the future. At the ceremony, outstanding customs officers who have performed exceptionally across the various customs centers in the country were celebrated with awards. WCO Secretary General Ian Saunders, in a speech read by the Commissioner Customs Division of GRA, Alhaji Seydou Idrisu Idisa, urged members of WCO to embrace cutting-edge technologies and data analytics as enablers of their engagement with partners to increase their responsiveness and effectiveness.
Such a dynamic approach is vital in an ever-changing global landscape and increases our ability to achieve meaningful results in line with our critical mission.
The Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Reverend Dr. Amishadai Osuamwa, in a speech read on his behalf by the Deputy Commissioner Operations 1 at GRA, Daniel Edisi, said the division has embarked on a number of projects intended to identify and remove bottlenecks that impeded efficient clearance of goods at the ports, as well as establish baseline data for measuring trade facilitation and exchange of information.
Last year, the Customs Division conducted a time release study with the following broad objectives. 1. To identify and make recommendations to address the bottlenecks that impede efficient clearance and release processes at ports and borders. 2. To measure the average time taken from the arrival to the release of goods from selected customs clearance offices. 3. To establish baseline data for measuring the performance of trade facilitation processes of customs and the private sector involved in the release process.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Kwesi Bafo Sapon, who chaired the ceremony, reiterated the significance of public partnerships with the private sector.
For us at DSA, any endeavor that facilitates, enables, or enhances the business of private sector, particularly importers, exporters, translators, whom we call shippers, is very heartwarming.
The Marketing and Public Affairs Manager at the Port of Tema, Abna Sewo Opoku-Fosu, doubled up on the call for purposeful partnerships in the sector.
Some years back, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority was the only authority in the industry. But over the years, we have councils and boards that have also become authorities backed by airline. And in our engagement with them as partners, we must ensure mutual respect, understanding of each partner's vision and mission, and to ensure that our organizational cultures blend seamlessly towards one unique objective.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, in a speech read on his behalf, said that partnerships were vital to international customs operations and as such urged the division to be proactive by strengthening existing alliances and initiating new collaborations.
It is through effective cooperation with mutual respect among partner agencies that we can create a secure and conducive environment for legitimate movement of goods across borders.
Adding on to that, the Trade Minister K.T. Hammond, represented by the Chief Director of the Ministry, Patrick Yaunimo, urged customs and their key stakeholders to prioritize trade facilitation in their dealings.
We have implemented several initiatives, and it has put us in pole position to become a very competitive environment within the region. But we need to do the last mile to be able to bring it to fruition, particularly related to how it benefits the private sector, which hopes to enhance and which hopes to harness the opportunities under the various trade agreements that we have committed to.
In recent years, the government of Ghana has dedicated itself to the construction and rehabilitation of fishing ports and landing sites across 14 coastal communities in Ghana as part of efforts to revamp the fisheries sector and improve the livelihoods of citizens. These include Axim, Diskov, Elmina, Otuam, Mori, Manford, Senyabreku, Gomwa, Teshi, Osu, Jamestown, and Keta. According to government, most of these are nearing 100% completion. To support effective monitoring and coordination of the coastal fishing ports and fish landing sites project, the Ministry of Transport has procured and handed over 14 brand new Mitsubishi pickups to metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies where these project sites are located. Speaking at a handover ceremony in Accra, Deputy Minister for Transport Alasan Tampoli urged the beneficiary administrations to use the vehicles judiciously.
So what we are doing today is not only empowering you to be able to do your work, but it's also for you to commit to the ministry and to the government that in view of what you are receiving, you are also going to draw commitments that the vehicles are going to be put to good use. And at the end of the day, we will all get the benefits of both the landing beaches, accompanying facilities, and also.
He assured the press that all 14 of these projects will be ready for use by the end of the year.
By and large, except for 2 or 3, we are 100% complete as far as all these landing beaches are concerned. There are some areas that require, even though they are completed, we are still within the defect liability period. We've noticed some defects. So we are asking the contractor and then the consultants to go back and rectify those ones. But generally we are done.
Ghana's #1 oil marketing company, GOIL PLC, has begun the year with providing humanitarian aid to flood victims in the North Tongu district who are still reeling under the consequences of the October disaster. The 150,000 Ghana cedi donation was made to a delegation comprising the traditional and political leaders of the district at the GOIL Executive Center in Accra. According to the management of GOIL, this donation is intended to add up to initial relief efforts made by other organizations in the aftermath of the spillage of the Akosombo Dam, which displaced over 30,000 Ghanaians. Group Chief Executive and Managing Director of GOIL, Kwame Osei Prempeh, said he wishes the donation is channeled into helping the most vulnerable in the communities.
We believe that Togwe Omaga honorables believe that this money will go to the people who need it most. For me especially, the women and children who have suffered in this. And let me say that this will not be the last. At the appropriate time, we hear from GOIL again.
The Member of Parliament for North Tongu, Okujeto Ablakwa, assured GOIL that the donation will be administered transparently and accounted for.
In our constituency now, we still have a few of the food items that were donated. And we have a timetable where we distribute the relief items to the 21 camps across the constituency. And we haven't run out. So I will not be surprised if they highly recommend that we use this for the housing project, because that really is the pressing need we have now.
This assurance was corroborated by the District Chief Executive, Divine Osborne Fenu.
We will ensure that every donation received is put to good use to the people who need them. And so we have always repeated that when it comes to solving issues, problems of our people, we don't do politics. We put politics aside, because the people we serve are the people, the reason we are there.
The traditional leaders present were full of praise for GOIL's demonstration of commitment to the social well-being of Ghanaians.
Thank you very much, and that we are extremely grateful. And we will convey all what we have said or transpired here to our people who have not had the chance to be here about transparency and accountability. I can assure you that we are not going to leave any stone unturned. We are going to make sure that the money is put to good use.
Let us now take our lenses overseas and pick a few international shipping and maritime related news. 4 Japanese companies, Nippon Yusen Kabushiki Kaisha, NYK, Japan Engine Corporation, IHI Power Systems, and Neon Shipyard, have signed a series of contracts to build the world's first ammonia-fueled medium gas carrier equipped with Japan-made engines. The contracts were finalized in December 2023. To be built at the Japan Marine United Corporation Ariake Shipyard, the 40,000 cubic meter ammonia fuel carrier is scheduled for delivery in November 2026. The completion of the vessel will be a significant step towards the realization of decarbonization in the maritime sector. 2 US-flagged container ships, Maersk Detroit and Maersk Chesapeake, operated by Maersk Line Limited, a US subsidiary of AP Moller Maersk, were targeted by anti-ship missiles while transiting the Bab el-Mandeb on January 24, 2024. The attacks were confirmed by Maersk, saying that the 2 vessels were part of a scheduled US Navy accompaniment for a northbound transit of the Bab el-Mandeb as they were carrying US military supplies. According to the US Central Command, the Maersk Detroit was targeted by anti-ship ballistic missiles fired by Houthi forces from Yemen. The latest attack comes on the heels of US and UK-led strikes on Houthi positions in Yemen as a response for their attacks on commercial shipping in the Red Sea. It's now time for our Word of the Day segment, where we introduce words, phrases, jargons, and terminologies that we often use in this industry so you can get familiar with them. Today, we will tell you what we mean when we say box in this industry. A box is another less formal name for a shipping container. This is how they are often referred to in the shipping industry. Let us now take a look at the schedule of vessels that have berthed in the ports of Tema and Takoradi and at the anchorages of both ports, as well as those expected in the coming weeks, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. This is where we draw the curtain on today's edition of Iron Port. We hope you've been informed and educated. Remember, all Iron Port content can be found on our YouTube channel, Iron Port. Please subscribe, like, and give us feedback. Thank you for watching.